Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Kutsamarku, Head of Unit for Communication and Knowledge Activities in the URBACT Secretariat, and welcome to the second webinar for the Call for Innovation Transfer Networks. I'm happy to present you today Maria Laura Mitra, Project Officer, who is going to be with us, and for the next hour, she's going to present you the call for innovation transfer networks, and in particular, what it takes to build a good partnership for a network. This will be the focus of today's webinar. We are not going to present the call in a nutshell. We did this last time, and we have the recording and the slides on the Get Involved page. So today we're going to focus only on the aspects of building a good partnership. Before we do that, I would like to ask you two questions. So first of all, we are going to launch a poll. So you will be seeing soon in your screen a poll about who, first of all, with the question about who you are. So let's launch the first one. So now you should be able to see it in your screen. So where are you? Who are you? Are you a city potential lead partner for this call for innovation transfer networks? Are you a city interested in transferring a good practice? Are you a national URBACT point? Are you a national or regional authority? Are you an expert? All right, I can see we have 84 participants so far. More than half have responded. I'll wait a few more seconds. All right, so we have Maria Laura, we have more cities interested in transferring, so perhaps you can focus a bit more on your presentation about what these cities can do to express their interest to a potential lead partner. All right, so let's close this poll, and let's go to another question, which is also the same question we asked you last week. So we would like to know if this time you have read the terms of reference. Last time it was really short, half and half. Let's see now whether you have done your homework. All right, we have 90 participants, more than half have responded. I'm waiting for a few more minutes so everybody can respond. All right, a bit more. Yeah, we have, if we can share the results now, Maria Laura, if we mettre fin au sondage, partage les résultats. So yes, we can see now that we have 60% of more or less from you that you have read the terms of reference. That's very good. Another 40% of no. So if you have questions about what the call is about, what activities this type of network includes, then keep your questions for the third webinar that will be in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, you can also read the terms of reference. All right, let's stop the pause now. And I'm going to explain you in a nutshell how this webinar will take place. So first of all, for the newcomers, those of you who are completely new to the program, I'm going to really quickly say a few words about what URBACT is about. Bear with me if you had already had this presentation in the last webinar. And then Maria Laura is going to present us the eligibility requirements. Last time there have been quite a lot of questions about eligibility requirements. If a city or if a specific organization was eligible to the call. So we're going to speak about these requirements. If you have a specific question though, put it in the question and answer box. But before that, before you ask your question, I really recommend that you wait until Maria Laura has presented all the slides that she has on the matter. And then we're going to pause a bit after the eligibility requirements so we can see whether there are any questions that we can pick up. But at the same time, there will be Clémentine Gravier, Head of Unit for Networks and Capacity Building, who will be behind the scene, and she will be responding to many of your questions through the question and answer box. And then after this pause, we are going to continue with some tips, both for lead partners, but also for project partners, about how you can maximize your chances to be part of a network. All right, so let's start first with what is URBACT. So URBACT, the language, the jargon of the definition of URBACT is that we are a European territorial cooperation program. We are co-funded by the European Regional Development Funds and also contributions from the member states and partner states of the European Union. And we exist since 2002. We are currently in the fourth programming period of URBACT. We have funded more than 1,000 cities across Europe to come together, to work together, and to develop integrated action plans and solutions to their local challenges. So we do that. Our main objective is to promote integrated urban development in Europe, so tackling at the same time the social, environmental, and economic dimensions. And we try to do this through three strands of activity. First one, where most of the budget of URBACT goes to, is the networking activities. So here's what I told you about, that we fund city networks, so cities coming together to work on a particular challenge. And then these cities do also benefit from capacity building activities, which can be trainings, which can be national campus, universities at the European level. And also we provide to them tools and guides to be able to develop these integrated urban policies. And of course, we have a third strand of activity, which is the communication and knowledge activities. We try to capitalize on all the knowledge coming from the cities, from the URBACT cities, but also beyond URBACT cities, and bring forward the latest urban challenges and developments through URBACT City Festivals, City Labs. We're going to organize a City Lab on sustainable food on the 21st, 22nd of March. So you can save the date already. We're going to start the communication this week. And we are going now to focus a bit more on the networking aspects. So URBACT funds three types of networks. First type of network is the action planning network. So here the idea is that a bunch of cities come together in a network. They have a common challenge, and they together they work to co-produce an integrated action plan to tackle this common policy challenge. We then have transfer networks. So these transfer networks, the call for transfer networks will be launched in 2025, April to June 2025. But before that, we are going to launch a call from 15 April to end of June 2024. So in a couple of months, we're going to launch a call for good practices. This is not a call for networks, but it's a call for good practices to identify good practices across Europe. And then we were going to assess all the submitted good practices. And the idea is that few of these awarded good practices will be transferred through transfer networks. And then we have the third type of network, which is the innovation transfer networks. So again, the principle is quite similar to the transfer networks, but there is a big difference, which is that the lead partners are cities who have already funded a project under Urban Innovative Actions, which is another initiative that provides funding to innovative ideas. So these cities have already implemented a project under Urban Innovative Actions, and now the idea is that their practices will be transferred to other cities across Europe. Now, there is a common thread across the three types of networks, which is all cities involved in these networks have to create an URBACT local group, which is a group of local stakeholders who will be working at local level, but also going at transnational meetings of the networks and they will be the ones who will develop an integrated action plan or an investment plan according to a type of network. And there is always an expert that accompanies this network. So there are some similarities in terms of the method that we use that we also brand as the URBACT method. So I'm going to give the floor now to Maria Laura to start speaking about partnerships.
Exactly. First of all, just a reminder that the present call for innovation transfer networks is open until the 20th of March. So just for you to keep the deadline in mind. But indeed, let's go on and let's focus on more specifically on partnership and what is the composition of the networks that then can submit a project proposal. So first of all, a network can include 5 to 7 partners, including the lead partners. And in terms of geographical composition, they can mainly be cities from the 27 EU member states, as well as partner states of Switzerland and Norway, and 5 IPA countries, that is Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Serbia. I'm going to come back later specifically on the geographical balance, but this is just an introduction for you. Let's talk first about the eligibility requirements. So first of all, who can be a lead partner? Jenny has already explained to you that only the cities who have already implemented the project funded under the Urban Innovative Actions between 2016-2023 can be a lead partner for this specific call. So the pool of lead partners potentially can be one of the 86 cities funded under the UIA actions, and we will see later on which are the ones that have already expressed their interest in being a lead partner. As a reminder, a city can be a lead partner only in one innovation transfer network proposal, but they could be additionally a project proposal in a project partner in another proposal if they wish so. Some information on what is the role of the lead partner. In the innovation transfer networks specifically, the lead partners have really a key role in the transferring of knowledge and also in animating the exchange and learning component of the network lifetime. So as the entity that had indeed implemented the innovative action, they hold a key role in ensuring that this innovative action can be understood and then transferred to other cities. So for sure, there is a role when it comes to also methodological and thematic expertise from this city, as well as the lead partner has some administrational and management responsibilities. First of all, don't forget that the lead partner will complete and submit the full application on behalf of the whole network. So you are the ones who are filling out the form, you are the ones that are sending us all the required documents to actually proceed with your application. For the networks that will be approved, the lead partners will have the full responsibilities of the network management, as well as the coordination of the activities among the transnational partners and the full implementation of the work program. And the lead partners as well bear the financial and legal responsibilities towards the URBACT managing authority, that is the French agency for territorial cohesion. Who can be then the project partners in the innovation transfer networks? We talk about project partners as city or non-city partners, and I'm going in a second to explain the difference, who answer the eligibility requirement. So what does it mean, city or non-city? City partners are indeed cities, municipalities, town, as well as local agencies or infra-municipal tiers of government, as well as metropolitan authorities. In URBACT, there is no limitation when it comes to size or population of a city that can take part in a project. And then when we talk about non-city, we still refer to public authorities or equivalent public bodies, such as, for example, universities and research centers that are concerned with urban matters, provincial or regional authorities that are concerned with urban matters, as well as managing authorities. When it comes to the eligibility requirements, a beneficiary can be a partner in maximum 2 of the approved networks, and we will come back to this topic of commitment in a second. A partnership cannot include more than one partner from the same country. So you are required to have basically a partner from each partner from a different country. If you want to include a non-city partner in your network, you can do so, but you have maximum one non-city partner allowed per network. And then also your partnership needs to respect some geographical balance requirement that we are going to focus on now. But just as a word of reassurance, or in case you have any doubts about your eligibility or a potential partner eligibility, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our contact is itn@urbact.eu, and I will repeat this email address quite a few times during this presentation. So for any doubts about eligibility, please reach out to us. We really want to support you in the preparation of the call instead of having then issues after the closing of the proposal. So as a reminder, again, which countries can participate in an innovation transfer network? We have seen that institutions from the 27 EU member states, Switzerland and Norway, as well as Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Serbia can take part in the proposal of an innovation transfer network. I just want to mention that as of since December, also Ukrainian and Moldovan cities have the possibility to participate in URBACT projects. For the specificity of this call, Ukrainian and Moldovan partners will have the possibility to join a network once the innovation transfer networks will be approved. So first of all, there's going to be the full submission of proposal period only from these institutions, then the eligibility check and the assessment criteria. Once we know which networks are approved, Ukrainian and Moldovan cities will have a dedicated process to join one of the approved networks. So the window is not open yet, will be open in the next few months. I was speaking before about geographical balance. So what do we mean by geographical balance? There is a requirement, depending on the number of partners in your network, to respect the balance between the EU regions. So if your partnership is composed of 5 to 6 partners, and as a reminder, the lead partner is included in this count, you need to have at least 3 partners from less developed or in transition regions. If you have the full partnership, so if you have 7 partners, at least 4 of these need to be from less developed or in transitions region. If you are wondering to which region you belong to, you can check this infographic as well as the status of your EU region at the link. We also have it available in our frequently asked question section of the website. But once again, in case you have any doubt, please reach out to us, itn@urbact.eu. As an additional note, when we talk about geographical balance, we also really encourage a good geographical mix. So indeed, you have that requirement of having at least X number of partners from less developed or in transitions region. But to complete the partnership, make sure that you have partners from all types of your regions. So make sure that you also include partners from more developed regions. In case you want to include partners from Norway, Switzerland, or one of the 5 IPA countries, you can do so, but maximum 1 partner per network. And this is within the count of 5 to 7. So once again, as a reminder, in terms of assessment, it's really recommended to build a diverse partnership, so to have a good geographical mix. So in summary, and let's conclude this part on the eligibility requirements. A network can be composed of 5 to 7 partners. The lead partner is included in all the counts and statistics that we're doing. The lead partner can only be a city who was previously funded under an Urban Innovative Action Fund. Project partners can be city or non-city. If you have a non-city partner in your network, you can maximum have 1 in the partnership. A project partner can be part of maximum 2 approved networks. So once again, make sure to check the commitment of yourself if you're a project partner, or of your project partners if you are a lead partner. In terms of geographical balance, each partner must come from a different country, so no more than 1 partner from the same state. The partners have to come from all types of EU regions. And so keep in mind the threshold of regional balance. If you have a partnership of 7 partners, at least 4 need to come from less developed or transition regions. If you have a partnership of 5 to 6, at least 3 needs to come from less developed or transition regions. And then lastly, once again, you can include up to maximum 1 partner from IPA or Switzerland or Norway per network. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here for the moment if there are any questions in the chat box that we need to cover.
All right, so far, Maria Laura, these are responded, not so many questions. So far, these are responded by Clementine. So I suggest that we move on.
Okay, perfect.
With the tips.
Okay, so let's cover indeed some tips that we have on our side on how you can build a successful partnership. So first of all, if you are a candidate project partner, how can you participate in a project? You need to find your lead partner, so any UAE-funded city that was interested in, that expressed their interest in participating in this call, and you can do so by looking at the URBACT Partner Search tool. It's available on our website. In this partner search tool, you can have a look at the cities that have expressed their interest in transferring their practices. And we already have 22 cities that have express their interest, and we have a huge variety of topics that we cover. So we go from housing to circular economy, from urban security to cultural heritage, to air quality, sustainable use of land. So we really cover a wide range of topics. And as a reminder, there are no limits per se to the topics that can be covered in the innovation transfer networks. Of course, the topic is tied to whatever to the UIA project, so to the type of innovative action that was already implemented during the UIA fund. But from our side, there is no limits or assessment related or threshold, let's say, related to the thematic coverage. If you are a lead partner, how can you look for project partners? So first of all, you will be contacted by the interested project partners through the partner search tool. So the partner search tool is really the place for us to make this matchmaking happen. And so a strong recommendation to lead partners to be reactive when you will be contacted by project partners, so that you can fastly reply to them and start this knowledge process also between the two of you. But in case you are also actively looking for project partners, don't hesitate to reach out to the relevant national URBACT points. You have the contacts on our website, as well as upcoming national info days. Once again, all of this is available on urbact.eu/get involved. So you have the full overview of the next national days. Now, some essential consideration when it comes to your partner search and also to your partner selection. First of all, keep in mind the assessment criteria. Specifically, it's criterion 1 that evaluates both the relevance of the UI practice according to this dimension, as well as specifically the quality of the partnership. So assessor will be focusing on, when it comes to quality of the partnership, on the geographical mix, and we have spoken about it plenty just now, on the involvement of newcomers. So URBACT really appreciates opening its doors to new cities that have not been involved previously in other URBACT networks. And also assessors will be looking at complementarity. So it makes sense for those cities to work together on that specific policy challenge. And they also have a similar policy issue, as well as they can learn from each other. Keep in mind the relevance of the policy challenge for all partners. So the challenge addressed should be a priority for all the network partners, as well as the experiences of all the network partners are relevant for the full partnership. I was saying before that the lead partner has a key role to play in this specific exchange, being the city that has already implemented an innovative action on that specific policy challenge. But this doesn't mean that the project partners don't also come to the network and to the partnership with their own knowledge and experiences, and also trials and errors that they can contribute to the network and make sure that there is this balanced exchange. For certain topics, it might be that the size and the positioning of the city is important when it comes to the policy challenge. Here, as a reminder, once again, size and positioning is not per se an eligibility criteria. So cities of every size and every position can participate, are eligible to participate in this call. At the same time, if, for example, your policy issue, you're working on maritime issues, it makes sense to involve maritime cities. So in this sense, we're talking about size and positioning of the city to check that is relevant with the challenge at stake. And also keep in mind to clearly explain what is the added value for the city to be involved in an URBACT network. So what can URBACT bring to the partner in relation to the capacity building needs, as well as to the policy challenge itself. Once again, keep in mind the eligibility criteria. We have covered them very thoroughly so far, but again, as a reminder, a city can be a lead partner in only one network proposal, and a city can be a project partner in 2 approved networks. Here we come back again to the topic of commitment that we're going to talk about in a second. But for the moment, some tips for project partners. So as a project partner, how can I succeed in presenting my interest to a potential lead partner? First of all, demonstrate the relevance. So why and how is this policy challenge relevant for you? Why have you chosen specifically that lead partner? Why have you chosen to contact them? And why is that policy challenge relevant to your city? Also explain what is your experience on the topic. So as I was saying before, you might have already tried to do something on that specific policy challenge. So what are the existing policies, strategies, and actions that you have developed in your city? As well as if there are any trial and errors that you have already tried, and from which you can also learn future strategies for your policy issue. As well as explain how is your city relevant to adapt and transfer the target innovation. So when we talk about innovation transfer networks, we focus on the policy challenge as well on the specific solution that city has implemented. So explain why basically you are interested in that specific angle, in that specific solution to the policy. Demonstrate what kind of motivation you have. So once again, we reconnect to the why. Why are you joining this network? What is your motivation to join this URBACT network? As well as what is the added value that URBACT will bring to your city? And what is that you expect from a transnational network? We have said it a few times before, that indeed the key element of URBACT networks is also this dimension of transnational exchange and transnational learning. So what are you expecting from this transnational level of connection? And lastly, demonstrate commitment. So first of all, demonstrate or illustrate which kind of resources you are willing to engage. And we are not only talking about financial resources, but also human resources and time resources. So as a project partner, make sure that you have available the necessary resources to support a transnational level of exchange. If you have any experience already in working through transnational exchanges, you can name them. Or if it's your first time in working through transnational exchange, that's okay as well. But please, once again, motivate why you are interested in joining a transnational network. As well as other ways in which you could demonstrate commitment, for example, is by clarifying that you have understood what is the methodology behind an innovation transfer network. So you know that at the end of this process, you will have an investment plan to be produced. And so if you already envision what could be the scope of the investment plan, of course, this is not already set in stone, because indeed the reason why you would like to join an innovation transfer network is also to explore possible solutions. So this question, it's more on, I have an idea on what I will have to do. So I understand also the workload and the commitment that will be needed from my side, rather than I have already taken a decision that will be implemented. And similarly, if you are already envisioning what could be your initial URBACT local group, once again, not because that is going to be set in stone and that's going to be your URBACT local group, but once again, because it shows that you are aware of the methodology of URBACT and of the kind of work that you will have to carry out for the next 2 years. When it comes from the lead partners, so as a lead partner, I will receive several candidatures from project partners, or I will look out myself for project partners, what I should be watching out for. First of all, we have said, check for multiple commitments of project partners, and also test the commitment they have to perform the expected activities and the tasks at a transnational level, but also at local level. Test their commitment to engage with local stakeholders, and also the commitment to mobilize the necessary resources. To do so, to test this commitment, we suggest that you draft a questionnaire that is based on the application form requirements. You already find an example of this questionnaire template in the guide for applicants. And what is the purpose of this questionnaire? What it can help you with? First of all, in testing the responsiveness of the partners. So it's already, through this questionnaire, you're already opening a communication channel with the potential partner, and you can already assess how is their communication style, and also how is their responsiveness when it comes to deadlines and following also the administrative process of a project lifetime. But also filling this questionnaire can also help you already in analyzing the profile of these potential partners. So not only the commitment, as we have thoroughly said, but also what are their motivation, what are their needs, what is the added value for them to take part in a transnational network, as well as what is the added value that they bring to the transnational network. So by building this questionnaire and by gathering these responses, you will be able to build yourself a short list of the partner candidates that then can help you to make a final selection for the network proposal. As a word of caution, we do recommend that you keep a reserved list of partners in case you have a last-minute dropout of a project partner. You promptly can substitute them, and this will not affect your ability to submit a project proposal. So in sum, let's review 7 tips from our side to build a great partnership. So first of all, there is no such thing as a perfect size of the network. We have said before that networks can be composed of 5 to 7 partners, and you are free to choose between 5 and 7, of course. But keep in mind that if you go for the minimum number of partners, so if your network is composed of 5 partners, you need to be ready. You need to have a risk management system in place. So you need to be ready in case the one project partner drops out, or in case there is an eligibility issue with one of the project partners. You need to be ready either to substitute them or to have risk management systems in place so that your project continues to be eligible. Once again, ensuring the geographical balance. We have really stressed this a lot. Please make sure that you check that you respect the minimal requirements of the geographical balance, as well as that you have a good geographical mix. So there is a good coverage of the European countries. And if you have any questions on the eligibility and on the geographical balance, please reach out to us. Welcome newcomers. So we have said that we really appreciate having the possibility of including new cities that were not funded before in other URBACT projects, so that we can spread the learnings from the URBACT methodology. And once again, test the commitment. So if you are a lead partner looking for project partners or shortlisting project partners, make sure that you understand who could be the potential team that will work on the project, as well as is there any political involvement or political interest from the administration to work on that issue, so that you understand if the full city is committed to carry out the project, as well as if you are a project partner, demonstrate that you have this commitment to carry out the project to completion. And connected to this, as a lead partner, beware of not responsive partners. Of course, this is an issue that might become apparent and evident more during the project lifetime than at selection level. But this is why it's very important for you to already build a relationship, to already build a communication channel with the potential partners to understand how the relationship between the two of you could work. Once again, connect to the available resources. So reach out to us, to the URBACT Secretariat, reach out to the national URBACT points. Don't hesitate to take advantage of us, of the support that we make available, because we really would like for your project to reach the assessment level. So to not have any eligibility issue, we really prefer to first answer your question before the closing of the submission period. And then lastly, take time to know the partner. I think I have reiterated this in several different ways and several different angles. But take time to build a relationship with this partner, to not only do the questionnaire that we recommend, but also to have one-on-one meetings, interviews, meetings with the full team if it's possible, so that you can really understand what is the context of that city from a policy point of view, but also from an administrative point of view. You really can already, you really know the partner and already take time to understand what is the overall situation. Okay, so this concludes also the consideration when it comes to partner search. I'm gonna stop for questions now.
Very good. Thank you very much, Maria Laura. I think it was very clear, because we don't have a lot of questions,
right.
And Clementine is doing a great job in responding to these questions. Okay. So I don't have yet an open question. Besides, perhaps we can have just a reminder about the next calls for networks, because there is a question about when are the next calls for networks, yep. And also the call for good practices. But before that, okay, let's just focus on two things, especially for the lead partners. As soon as you think that you have your partnership set, you think that you found the right partners and with whom you will submit a network application. So in that case, what we really recommend you to do is that to still, before you submit your application, write to itn@urbact.eu to ask us about the eligibility, of your partners in terms of balance for the EU regions, whether they come from less regions. Double check with us whether you have the right status of the EU region of your partners. This is really crucial because we had in the past very few networks that were excluded from the assessment process because they just messed up with an EU region. So it's really pity not to pass through the assessment because of that. So double check it with the Secretariat first. And also what we also recommend is that you also double check with the Secretariat the city non-city status. This is also crucial to be sure that you respect, if you have a non-city partner, that you respect this one non-city partner in the network. So also double check this before you submit your application. All right, I don't see any more questions unless you want to ask, because this is the end of the presentation from Maria Laura. We will just show you what are the next steps now, when are the next webinars, and where you can find all the relevant resources, including this questionnaire that you mentioned, Maria Laura. So we have 2 slides for this. The recording of this webinar plus the slides will be available in the afternoon on the Get Involved page under the date of this webinar, as it is the case also for last webinar last week. All right, so there is, just before we move on to, since we're still in the questions time, there is a question about the upcoming calls and the deadlines. So I told you before, so now we have action planning networks. We have 30 action planning networks that have been approved. And then we have, most probably we will have a second call for action planning networks in 2026. So more information about this, the exact dates, the exact months will follow. For the transfer networks, I told you that first there is the first step for forming a transfer network is the call for good practices. The call for good practices will open mid-April, 15 April until end of June 2024. And here we're just looking for good practices that were implemented already by cities. So individual city practices, that's all what we look for. And then there will be an assessment process and to really see whether the good practices correspond to criteria that we have set, that they have brought positive results, for example, that they are integrated, that they are participatory, they have a relevance at EU level. So as soon as we assess this, we will award these good practice cities as good practice, URBACT good practice cities. And these awarded good practices will be then transferred, some of them, few of them, will be transferred through transfer networks, and the call for transfer networks will open from April to June 2025. And for the launch of the call for transfer networks, we will have a big event in Poland in April from 8 to 10 April 2025. So yet to be defined in which city, but more communication will come in the next months. And the Innovation Transfer Networks call, which is now from 10 January to 20 March.
Yeah, so don't forget about this deadline. That is the closest one if you want to take part in an innovation transfer network. Do we have other questions?
Right. We do have another question, but I can see that Clementine is about to respond to this. There are specific questions actually about the eligibility of some partners. Mm-hmm. So for this, the best thing is in any case to contact ITN at urbact.eu. All right, I don't see any other questions, and I can see that we are even we have finished a bit earlier. So if you have any other questions, now it's the time, unless you don't, and then we continue with the next steps. Yeah, let's do that. Let's continue with the next steps.
Okay, so just as a reminder, what is coming next? Sorry, I'm going again through the slides. So we left here. What are the next steps for you? So first of all, where to start with your application? You have 3 main documents that are your reference. First of all, the terms of reference for this call, as well as the guide for applicants for the innovation transfer networks. And in general, the program manual of URBACT is where you find also all the answers when it comes to budget and more managing networks questions. All these resources, as well as these slides and the recording from all of the sessions, are available on our website at urbact.eu/get-involved. So that's going to be your homepage, hopefully saved for the next 2 months. Once again, if you have any questions, you can write to us, itn@urbact.eu. We have also upcoming webinars and an info session for you. So in 2 weeks, we will have another dedicated webinar on the aspects of exchange and learning. So more on content side, what you can expect from joining or leading an innovation transfer network. And also in March, we will hold 2 webinars for any technical issues, so more troubleshooting, let's say, regarding the submission of your application. So by March, we really hope that you will already be in quite of an advanced status with your with the building of your partnership, and you are ready to just submit your application, so we can go over any issues that you might be having with the application platform. So voila, so this is it. Thank you for your attention. As always, itn@urbact.eu is your reference email in case you have any questions, unless we have something new in the chat box.
No, nothing new.
Okay.
Thank you very much again, and see you in 2 weeks for the next webinar. Thank you. Thank you, Clementine, for the response to the questions. Thank you, Maria Laura.
Thank you, Jenny.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.